gonna happen?
We don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Dead air.
Dave's rant. Dave's rant. He's really pissed. It's excellent. Dave's rant. Dave's rant. Let's watch him lose his shit.
Facebook. That's it. No, Facebook, when your profile is set as you as a child, this has got to stop. This is a thing. This is a thing. It's like some guy I know, 51 years old, has a picture of him on his tricycle. Like, what are you doing, man? That's so. He's the same guy that'll say nom nom about his favorite. Oh, look what I made. He posts his dinners, but his profile photo is him from '77, like in a tricycle. I'm not even kidding. Like, does he think he's gonna meet girls this way? The guy's actually single. Oh, look how cute you used to be. What the hell happened to you? He's like a fat, bald accountant now. Not into this not muting your background noise. We've all been through this, and we're really pretty good, I think. I mean, the fans can decide, but we're pretty good. But I was on a Zoom meeting a few weeks ago, just a work-related thing, and one of the guys is, taking off to go to the bathroom. The other one's on the phone trying to close a deal. There's all this background noise. They're trying to talk about some, new strategies and new things. And you got a guy making toilet and another one's closing a bloody deal. It's like, does these people not know how to mute your mic? You mute your mic. You don't pick up the phone and order a pizza in the middle of a professional business meeting. So there's a lot of that going on. Easy on the cologne. Okay. I mean, I know it's summer and people are really worried about their BO and everything, but you don't have to put that much cologne on. Remember how cologne used to be such a big thing too? We go to the States and come back, and at the border crossing, you'd pick an Aqua Gio or all this this heavy duty stuff that you just soak your clothes in, right? This also is I don't want to take over the show or anything. I really don't. But this is bothering me.
What is that?
Just this, people walking around with their phone in their face. They're not paying attention. It's all about the phone. You know what? I feel so good. I went for a huge nature walk. It's like, really? Because you look like you're going to have an anxiety attack full on because of looking at Facebook posts the whole time that you're walking. Ryan knows how to live down there. He is.
Right.
He knows how to live. He's not even on social media. Think about that. He had a flip phone up to before the show started. We had to expense an iPhone. We're still paying it off. We're not making that much money. Those iPhones are not cheap. It's an iPhone 6 that we're still paying for. But phone and Faceke's got to go. And and this is my last one because I don't want to take over the show, but a lot of the fans are sending us messages, and I love that. I love the family.
Yes,
and I want them to send as much as they can, please, but don't use capitals. I think you're yelling. It scares me, and it's and I'm not that blind. I know I had a birthday at the beginning of the year, 1 foot closer to the grave and such, but and I have readers, and you guys see me sometimes put them on. But I don't need to see the capitals, and I love the fan mail, but just easy on the capital letters.
Dave is very case sensitive, so
yeah, very
careful.
Case sensitive. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But
we wanted to start the show off this week a little bit differently and get right into that cologne. It's got to go.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It is. I'm not coming across as a prick. I love these people.
Yes,
a lot.
Yes.
So.
Welcome, Winnipeggers 58. We're still not sure exactly what order we're in. Great show tonight, and we started off with a great rant, and we're going to come on, back with some letters from the family. The often participating Michelle Worrell. The bad tattoo episode on Winnipeggers is really cool. Love seeing the bad tattoos. The Dio one was really bad, and now I got Bad Tattoo by Fozzy stuck in my head. Chris, you got to sing Michelle by the Beatles for me. Wow. I didn't know that I was up for that. I wasn't too sure.
Didn't read it prior.
I did not read it prior. Did I mention I was going to sing Michelle for her at some point?
I think you did, actually. I think there was a bit of
we need a time, Phil. Go for it. Whole song, please.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because singing Michelle this week from America's Got Talent, Gaddis Candace.
Oh, get
Oh,
off.
no.
Oh, thank God. I had enough of that guy.
Oh, that might be the only funny thing he's ever done.
All right, no Gaddis Caddis. We got Julian Lawson. You guys coming to the Maritime soon? I'm sure you would do well at Casino New Brunswick. Bring Dave Spivak Project and the King of Winnipeg, Rybo.
Yeah.
So a request to
right
come to the Maritimes for Fozzie and to bring Dave and you apparently now the king of the Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
I walk around downtown and through the market, and it's just I'm like the Godfather. I just walk through there.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know.
When he walks down the street, he smiles at everyone.
Rybo and I get invited to a lot of things. Funny, I mean, I think the word's out that we just take payment in hard-boiled eggs and bottled waters when we go, especially when we're hanging out with the Foz.
When they're like, I can't really afford anybody else, but I got a couple of hard-boiled eggs and I got some bottled water. They call us, and we go out there and we perform and we earn it.
And I just got a box of imported cow vaginas as well. So your next payoff will be extra slimy. Paula, I know Paula's from, I was going to say España. She's from Spain. When you see that the new Winnipeggers episode is about to bad tattoos and your head goes to this mess instantly. I was going to try and find this. Read this out loud, Rybo.
It's my life, says Bon Jovi, but that means it is my life.
And who's it by?
John Bon Jovi?
No.
John Bovi.
John Bovi.
Bovi.
It is.
You know what I mean?
My life by
It's a tongue twister. It's hard to do. I was born on a pirate ship. I was born on a pirate ship. I was born on a pirate ship. Is my life, John Bovi. Oh, it's not that.
I was on a pirate ship.
Hey, let's save that for the Olympics. Oh, which were last week.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Last week. We'll save it for last week.
I'll write it down on the
Back
post-it
to
note.
the future, Marty. If you guys don't know that it wasn't Eric Stoltz was the original Marty McFly, and then Michael J. Fox was actually the third Marty McFly because the second one was Speewee. So
I wrote it down.
Didn't work out that way.
all right, Aaron, go blue. Jericho, Speewee, and Rybo, thank you for your Winnipeggers episode on Crazy Bar. I'm not from Winnipeg originally and moved here in my mid-20s. Now, when someone brings up Crazy Bar, I have a clue what it is. Thank you, Winnipeggers. Well, there you go. That was nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. Go blue means the Blue Bombers. Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
And then we're going to go to our YouTube comments. We get so many YouTube comments. It's ridiculous. This is from Elena Sider. Winnipeggers are so cool, especially Chris because he's so brave. Rybo is so sweet. And Dave is the best at rants, by the way. Please do worst meals. Your friend, Elena from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
There you go.
How does she know worst meals? I guess we talked about it at Bad Tattoo.
Yeah, I think so. So we did that. Yeah.
All right. Always love to hear Dave's rants, says Jamie Alvey. I have to say they're hilarious.
Thanks, Jamie.
And we need more Jamie Farr, is what Jay Miller says.
A callback from an old show. Yeah. That was our first cameo guest, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Robert Schulenberger, when it comes to bad meals, I know one of Jericho's. All I would have to do is mention the name Regis J. O'Rourke Jr. All right.
More pizza.
Nice.
More pizza.
Good call, Rybo. How'd you remember that? You actually pay attention.
I know it's weird.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Dave would never know that.
No.
This must be from one of Dave's rants. Bob Rodriguez says, anytime I heard someone saying living the dream, they're being sarcastic. I think that was one of your ranting topics, living the dream.
I don't know if they're being sarcastic. What was that guy's name? Rob? That just said that? Whatever. I don't know if it's being sarcastic. It's just sort of it's just a cop-out. It's a way that, I'm doing fine, thanks. Just living the dream. Okay, maybe that's sarcasm.
Yeah, good
All
point.
right.
Good point.
Thanks, Rob.
Mackenzie Taylor says, I give up. I want to see the worst meals episode stat. The family's asking for it, Dave.
We did it.
Oh, here's one for you, Dave. Arcade Slum says, I guess Canadians find this humor amusing. I don't get it.
Wow, Arcade is his first name?
Him or her, yeah.
Yeah, you play too much video games and you get away from the whole comedy spectrum, believe me. That's what that guy's into. Him or her, Arcade as the first profile name says it all to me. Yeah, there's a thing outside of video games. Just saying.
They don't have any concept of what reality is. And if you don't have a concept of reality is, then you don't understand what's funny. You need to know what reality is to know what's funny.
Yes.
And the great words of Robin Williams, reality. What a concept. And you got no concept of that, Arcade. You dumb idiot.
Take that.
All right.
And that's all you're getting. You're not big enough to be on the band list. So
nothing. I'm not even close. You're like a Top Chef to us.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, Defendra says, fucking awesome episode. Laugh my ass off at the sponsor read. I would love to have a worst meals episode. I'm very glad I have an iron stomach after looking at those tattoos. Woo wee, what smells, those tattoos. Rybo, seriously, if you don't want the Star Wars game, if you have a spare one, I would love to buy it from you. I have a nephew who loves board games and Star Wars. But then again, whatever you are comfortable with. Thanks, guys. I was unpacking that in that email.
I like it.
Whoa,
There's good stuff there.
Oh.
So people are really wanting this worst meals episode. I know that I'm for it. I know that Rybo's for it. Speewee, are you going to give in and give the family what they want, or what?
I mean, it's called worst meals.
Worst meals, worst dinner, whatever you
I had a dinner with Brady Bad Breath and back.
Well, you don't want to say it right now. We're talking about music lessons. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying I have a Brady Bad Breath story that I can bring up, and I'll save that for that day. So
I love Brady.
You don't want to eat with him. You don't want to eat with him, dude. Charred remains of egg flying out of his mouth as he talks.
Speaking of charred remains of egg, we want to thank this week's sponsor for the Winnipeggers. We can't even read it from here. It's a great restaurant, and they'll explain it to you right now. Awesome sponsor.
This episode of Winnipeggers is brought to you by Chicken Delight. Holy cow, you can dine in or you can take out. We got food for the whole family, and this summer, we got the Summer Picnic Festival for only $37.95. Bark, 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 Chicken Delight. Bark, 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 bark. Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Bark, 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 bark.
I like a nice, concise advertisement. That's nice.
I like the fade out on the balking.
30 seconds on the nose.
Don't cook tonight. Try Chicken Delight tonight.
That's the slogan.
That was their slogan.
Hey, old school slogans. Yeah,
old school slogan. Hey, you might have even had a worse dinner at Chicken Delight coming up soon, according to the family. But lots of good stuff.
I think we should all get together and have some buried shark. We'll all sit together, eat some buried shark, and have some hog testicles and turkey as a turkey donk festival or whatever the hell it's called.
The Turkey Donk Festival, is that what you're going?
Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
I believe, as I still have it here, it was the Turkey Testicle Festival.
Of course.
Apparently somewhere in Colorado, according to Dave.
Yeah, and those are breaded, not normally like that. You could get them like that. That's the sashimi version of them.
Now, Dave, I think you should send out the advertising force to canvass the Colorado advertising companies and see if the Turkey Testicle Festival perhaps might want to do an ad and sponsor an episode of Winnipeggers. That'd be pretty cool.
You know what? I'd be willing to fly down there if they give us a few hard-boiled eggs. We would go down there and maybe do a live show at the Testicle Festival.
I think at the very least we have a chance of it being a sponsor that's going to have one of two voices, either the voice that goes, "Come to this man," or the other one's like, "Come to the Turkey Festival."
Yeah, right.
One of the two. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. All right, so we're talking about music lessons today.
Yeah.
And got a huge guest here, guys. A guy who's took a few music lessons in his career. Cool. A great guitar player. One of the greatest guitar players of all time in any genre, but especially in the heavy metal genre. Rybo, any guesses who it might be?
Zach Wilde?
Close, but probably, in my opinion, even better than that. Here he is to talk about his earliest music lesson memories. Dave Mustaine.
Oh, no. This is to the Winnipeggers from Earth. Hey, you guys, it's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and this is to the Winnipeggers from Irvas. So I'm giving a shout out to the Winnipeggers, Speewee, Rybo, and Irvas. And you guys wanted a quick story about the first guitar lesson I ever took. and you are exchanging music lessons stories. Thanks, Dave. Cool. Well, first off, thanks for doing a cameo request with me. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you're a fan of our music. I hope that I get to see you on the metal tour of the year. I take it you're Canadian, or you're up in Winnipeg, or something like that, and hopefully we'll get up there to play. So I know there was some restrictions getting up there too, so
opening up, baby.
Hopefully that'll all be lifted and we'll be fucking thrashing it out up there real soon. So my first guitar lesson I ever had was with my cousin, John Odell, and he has passed away from cancer since then. But he gave me a lesson when I was 13, and he gave me a lesson on his Gibson Les Paul, and imagine that was back in 1974. So he had a 1974 or older Les Paul that he let me play back then, and I didn't even know what I had in my hands. Holy mackerel, I had no idea. That was the coolest thing ever. So yeah, maybe I'll be able to tell you more about this lesson in person. We have, I think we have some more of the meet and greet special packages up in Canada. I don't know if we're coming to Winnipeg though. So be sure and check megadeth.com/tour. And that should, let me see if I got the
promo.
Right. Megadeth.com/tour. Yep, that should be our webpage for you to get all the dates that you need. And I'm at work now, so I got to shred. Actually, I got to go shred. See you later, buddy.
Cool.
He's wearing a Megadeth shirt.
Yeah, I was kind of he started off great. Then he went to a little bit of a promo. Then he told us about the lesson. And then he said, maybe I can tell you more about this if you buy a meet and greet. We just bought a fucking camo, Dave. That's the question. He could have said, I learned how to play Wild Thing. I learned how to play Houses of the Holy. I learned how to play frickin', Wang Dang, Sweet Poontang, whatever. Instead, now we got to buy a meet and greet to hear the rest of your story. It wasn't that great of a story, Dave.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? He sounded a lot like Dave Mustaine, but he didn't really look like him. But he had the voice down really well. You know what I mean?
He was better than those other imposters.
Him and that other fake Tom Cruise can go hang out and do what he was doing together.
The very first words out of his mouth is totally Mustaine. Let's hear it again. Hold on.
Hey, you guys. It's Dave.
Hey, you guys. Hey, maybe you too will know what my first guitar lesson was.
That's
Winnipeggers.
But hey, that was pretty cool. I like how, always be closing. That's Speewee knows. Always be closing. A, B, C. And Dave was always closing. So I looked up Megadeth.com/tour, and they are not coming to Winnipeg, Rybo. So.
Well, I guess I'll have to hear about his first lesson somewhere else, like probably YouTube or wherever else it is.
Just send him $1,000. Maybe he'll call you.
Yeah.
You have to hear about his first lesson on Talk is Jericho, one of the 3 times he appeared on the show.
Yeah. Irvass.
He'd be like, what the hell are you doing, Chris? I would have told you on my own.
Yeah,
I want to keep these guys working, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I love how you could just call him right now and he'd talk to you, but you threw him out. You had to get him through Cameo under your alias.
Best thing is one of the top chefs, I won't say which one, that we almost banned, is a friend of mine. I talked to her. I just did a show with her, and I could have called her and got her to do a video. But her cameo didn't work, so now we want to put her on the banned list. She's my friend. Don't cross me, Top Chef. I told you.
Oh, my God.
Hello, Cameo. Meet the real Cameo.
Hello, Cameo. I also love, too, when the guy actually reads, like, I'm going to start up a Cameo soon, and it's like, you're exchanging music lessons. Thanks, Dave. Okay. Don't read the whole thing. You don't have to read the thank you, Chris. The thank you, Dave. We get it.
Yeah. We know what we want.
We know what we want, and you better give it to us. So.
Or your band.
All right. Music lessons. This one was Dave's on a prolific. Dave's like Sting in the synchronicity years, where he's just writing all these episodes, and Rybo and I can't get a Miss Gordenko in edgewise here.
Just wait till we break up. You'll have 3 albums. It'll be a huge thing.
Exactly. All things must Rybo.
Good call. He's the Harold Ramis of the group.
What do you mean?
Oh, the head writer SCTV.
Yeah. He was the smallest guy, and then as soon as STV broke up, he went and wrote all these great movies, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So music lessons. Where did you get this idea from, Dave?
Well, I was just thinking about the past, and I had tried many different instruments, and we're always talking about sports and things growing up, and we all knew each other. So back then, so I just remember. Should I start us? I can start us and tell my story.
I think you should start. I just have one thing. Dave's thinking of the past, Rybo, and I ain't talking about trouble. Anyone?
There we go.
Anyone? Okay, go ahead.
All right. I trombone lesson. That was my first thing, and
me too.
And it really, because it wasn't very cool. And what was even worse about mine is that it wasn't through band. Because in our school, junior high and high school, you had a choice of art or band. And I would take band, but this was in grade 6. I was just getting ready to go into grade 7, which was the start of junior high. And it was in the summer, and my dad said, we're going to give you trombone lessons. It's like over the summer, I was walking from our house to Westwood Collegiate to take some kind of trombone lesson. I hated it. It was the worst. It's just I wasn't good at it. I didn't like it. It didn't rock. Trombone, saxophone, at least you can, have a little fun with.
Right.
So then I gravitated to the saxophone, and I was in these said band school, junior high and high school, and I played the alto, and I played a mean Entertainment Tonight theme song. I was very, very good at that, and I could play a good Heavens on Fire from Kiss. Nerd overload with so far, right? With what I had. Right. But the icing on the cake, this is the last real lesson that I had, like professional lesson, where I went, to a building that wasn't a friend's place. And it was at the Yamaha Music Center, and I can't even remember where it was. It was on Portage Avenue, Ryan, or something, but might not be there anymore. And it was right out of the Cosmopolitans. Like, I show up, I'm 17. Everybody in my class is like between 80 and 100. and I bring in a Yamaha Portasound. They all have real keyboards, and my dad got me this, it wasn't a cheap Portasound. If you remember those, they took the batteries. You could plug them into, but they weren't a full key set at all. So I would sit there, and they would teach us Anne Murray's Snowbird. And that's what I would learn. And I was just like, man, I am never going to get a girlfriend. I am never. And I love Led Zeppelin, and I love the Stones. I was so obsessed with AC/DC. And it's like, what am I doing? I go play guitar, drums. So, that wasn't my last, because then I went to Kent's Music and got drum lessons. And the drummer there told me, you'll never be a drummer, and you should quit. He told me that right away. And yet I am good at rhythm, but he's right. I still don't know how to count. It has to come from within, right? So for me, but that's sort of my music stories. Old Faithful and Snowbird on the Portasound keyboard. So yeah, it's quite. You can hear all these influences in my music if you.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I like how you're trying to get laid and you say I play the trombone and the girl's like ew, and then and you go. I'm also in the curling club.
I play keyboards. I play saxophone. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I just tried to sell my music. There's a meet and greet, actually, that Dave Mustaine and I are having. We would love to have you out. We would love to have you out for a little keyboard. I'll play a little bird for you. Just give me a few $100s, maybe more.
It's always where you always learn. You always learn those weird ass songs. Like for me, I started taking guitar lessons at Kent's Music, and you get the little book, and I remember the one that you had to learn was Irish Washerwoman, and I remember it goes like bing 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 ding 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 whatever. So I'm playing that, and my guitar teacher was a guy called Brad Roberts, who we all know, but he was in a band called Crash Test Dummies that was around Winnipeg for years and made it famous in 1994 with the song.
Huge.
Huge worldwide hit, right? So this was probably 1981. So it was about 10 years or 13 years before that. So I remember he used to wear long johns to work and nothing else, just long johns. He was super hippie. And I remember I went and saw him a bunch of times, and he's like, dude, like, you don't want to fucking learn any more of this anymore. Irish Washerwoman bullshit. And I'm like, 3 Blind Mice. He's like, what do you want to learn? Like, why are you playing guitar? And I was like, because, I want to fucking learn how to play rock and roll, man. He's like, okay, well, what do you want to play? And I said, I like Def Leppard. I like Black Sabbath. I don't know what I said. He's like, do you mean like Black Sabbath and Depth? Sure. So he taught me the chords for Photograph. So this must have been 83.
Nice.
And he taught me Paranoid, which I remember saying, like, they don't even say Paranoid in the song. He's like, yeah, what do you expect? They're going to be jumping around going, Paranoid, Paranoid, Paranoid. And then he taught me Start Me Up because he had just went and saw the Stones in Minneapolis on the Tattoo You tour. So he taught me those tunes. It was like I actually knew some rock and roll because he taught me those power chords, right? So then I made the really smart move of quitting guitar lessons and going into band in junior high school and taking up the trombone.
Right.
Like, and there was no reason for it. There's no bands that needed a trombone player.
No.
There was no chicks that were into trombones. I don't know why I dropped playing guitar from fucking Brad Roberts to go learn trombone.
You should have got a hold of me. We could have started a band, Virgins for Life.
Well, the only good thing is this. Here's the good thing. I went to band camp that summer in band camp at the International Falls, which is right on the border of Canada and the States. And we had a little bit of a contest. It was really like a movie. Who could get a girl first? And I was not Mr. Game, shall we say. It was Scott Shippen was there and a couple of other guys. And I was in the brass section, and there was a cute blonde chick. I remember she looked like, in my mind at least, Elizabeth Shue from Karate Kid at the time. Her name was, here's what her name was, Tammy Dew, D-E-W. And I hung out with her because we were in the same brass section. And so we hung out at band camp, and then one of the last nights there was a movie called Cat Ballou, and it was like a Western from like the 50s or 60s. And I remember halfway through, she's like, do you want to get out of here and go for a walk? I was like, okay. And we left Cat Ballou and went into the forest and had a little makeout session.
Forest?
Yeah, it was band camp. So it was my first kiss was with Tammy Dew, trombone player at International Falls at band camp.
Good Lord. Man.
Cool.
So there you go.
So did you get her you kind of got her ready for Warren Rumpel the next time he came through with the band, or was that a different story?
Food just smells good. What?
Nothing.
Warren told me the rusty trombone story.
Warren did get back to me when we told the story about going to Metallica, and he went to the water polo tournament instead. And he said that he did not hook up with that girl, and so he should have went to Metallica instead. That was what he told me.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So Rybo, give me some music lesson story.
Well, the thing with me is that I'm pretty much primarily a self-taught musician. I've been playing music forever, but I'm pretty much self-taught. But I did have one official music lesson, and that was a vocal lesson, but that was with Bad Breath Brady. So it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best thing. It's like every time he'd do an example, it'd be like, dude, don't give me any more examples. Forget it.
Hi.
He was a real great little singer, though. I have never heard anybody do the Tartar blues so well in my life.
Got a great voice, but the breath.
I really loved his version of Back in Plaque. It was really good.
Back in Plaque! I get the sack!
He was awesome when he was in that cover band Halitosis and Oates. I don't know. Anybody?
Oh, man. Oates was never the famous one. It was always Halitosis. Daryl Halitosis.
Daryl Halitosis. The worst thing about playing trombone, if you remember this, Dave, was remember you had to clean out your instrument.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to take the mouthpiece and thing, and you would blow through it.
Yeah.
And this green ass fucking terrible smelling.
And if you held it up, it would run down your forearm. It was just like disgusting. You
have to stick the little brush in there, but it comes out with green
Yeah.
slime all over, man. You didn't get that when you were learning how to play Paranoid on acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super gross. All those instruments that you blow into. I mean, you got to deal with all that spit. There's a thing you got to do with it. I don't want to do that. It's kind of like, we might do a show in the future called Pets, and it's like, cats and dogs. I like cats because you got to clean their litter, but you at least don't have to walk around with a bag in your hand and pick up their shit. After they take a shit, you got to pick that. I don't want to do that. We'll save that for the next episode. But I think that spitting into a saxophone or something like that and having to deal with that, it's kind of the same as that. I don't want to have to deal with that.
Imagine like buying used reeds from a saxophone.
Oh yeah, you can't buy used reeds.
Are these number twos? No.
It wasn't the reed though. It was
not
the stuff.
anymore.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, you guys, it's Dave.
I remember hanging out at Kent's Music, and there was a poster on the wall when I was waiting for my dad to pick me up or something like that. And it was a drummer, and it was like some kind of Sabian drum set or whatever. And I could never figure out who it was. It was a bald drummer, and it just had his name on it. I know what it is now, but there was a very famous bald Canadian drummer. And I don't know if you'd even be able to guess it, but it's from a really big, famous early 80s Canadian rock band, and he was bald. Do you recall any bald drummers, Rybo?
I don't know. Rick Gratton.
Who's that?
From Glass Tiger?
Famous Canadian drummer. I don't think he has he's bald.
This was the drummer of April Wine, and his name was Jerry Mercer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Heard of him for sure, yeah.
And I remember sitting there for years like, who the fuck is Jerry Mercer? Because back then there was no Google to see. So I remember asking, like, who's Jerry Mercer? Who Jerry Mercer? I don't know Jerry Mercer is. And then years later, I was like, oh, that's the guy, Jerry Mercer from April Wine.
That's cool. Yeah. See, like I said, I never really took any real lessons, so that's before there was YouTube and stuff. There was always videos and stuff, you get instructional videos. And I watched a lot of that. There was a guy named Adrian Peak that was on VPW. Shout out to VPW.
Cable access.
Which is basically like early internet of idiots. Like anyone that wanted to have a show could do whatever they wanted. Yeah, kind of like this show, basically. But he would always have these like DCI videos where he'd have these drummers come on and they'd have the instructional videos and stuff. It was just pretty cool. I remember one time he said he had this thing where he's like, you can tell how good a drummer is. He was like a jazz guy, and he's like, you can tell how good a drummer was because you could see that he would always hit the drum right in the center, and you could see all the wear out in the center of the drum. And actually, no, that's not true at all. Sorry, just forget about all that. It'd be kind of one of those where, there's no editing. It's like, okay,
Oh, I love those type of guys that are teaching something. Go, actually, that's not right at all. Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly right.
They're going to
talk about it for 4 minutes, and they go, actually, no, forget it. Just cross it off the blackboard. Sorry, I'm sorry you were taking notes, but we'll just cross all that off there. But I always watch videos of like Buddy Rich, Buddy Rich, Dave Weckl, or as VH would say, can I buy a E Weckl? Because he should have a E at the end, but he doesn't. Dave Weckl. Anyway, Terry Bozzio and stuff. But I learned a lot of stuff on the road too with like Jeff Waters. He would send me, before we went on tour with Annihilator, he sent the guys out like a huge list of stuff to bring on tour. It's like, okay, if you guys haven't really been on tour much, make sure you bring shower shoes because there's, planters, warts and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Thing. Well, and people get it, right? Because you're always walking on carpet with wet feet. You need shower shoes, and he's Jeffrey Showers. So if anyone should know, it's him, right? And he taught me good things like don't ever put nuts on the bus, unless you push them through the pie plate. There is
and wake up an unpaid musician.
Yeah.
these would count as music lessons.
These are music lessons
business,
that
right?
I had,
Right.
Yeah, Ryan got in a fight at the bar. That's his music lesson. Sorry, go ahead.
Frank Zappa said, there's 2 lessons: don't stop, and number 2, keep going. So you got to keep going. You got to warm up. Joe Serlin from The Watchmen taught me that you always got to, if you're on tour, you have to have a bag that has handles on it. Don't just have wheels on it, because wheels are great when you're going through airports. But if your bus breaks down and you got to carry your bag down like a highway that's just like gravel or something like that, and you don't have a proper like handle, you need the handle there. So these are kind of lessons.
Where the hell was he taking you? Down far south in the gravel roads of ding 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 ding.
Yeah, it's like, let's hit the road. Oh, what kind of roads are we gonna hit? Like mud roads mostly. They're just
where are we touring?
Where the hell are we going?
Where's the tour at?
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, there you go.
I'm having volume problems today.
That sounds like we're at the end. And you know what? We pretty much are at the end. Aren't we at the end? It's 34 minutes already.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, 34 minutes is a good bite. This is good for the corporation.
That's right.
to get a sample of what we're doing here on the Winnipeggers.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching this week. Thanks for everybody who wrote in letters and left comments on YouTube. Worst meal episodes. We're still trying to convince you know who.
Corporation.
He's trying to point at me.
Right there.
I'm actually the corporation.
Yes. Thanks to Chicken Delight for great sponsorship. And thanks to the great Dave Mustaine. Don't forget to go to megadeth.com/tour to buy tickets and VIPs. And if you do buy a VIP with Dave, ask him to finish his music lesson story because we're waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. Tell him we said hi.
Tell him. Yeah, he actually pronounced the names right. Did you notice that?
I know. And then he said, "See ya, buddy," he said to you. And I kind of think that maybe he knows what we're up to. We should.
No, because it just comes from Irvass.
Well, either way, I think another episode, a live episode on his driveway, a live episode. We'll go to all the stars and just.
We actually had him on our list from Alice Cooper, Dave Mustaine, Stephen Adika. These are guys that we have to go. We got to pay.
Adika.
Maybe we should put him on the band list just for principles. We'll discuss next episode.
I didn't even know who he is.
Oh, that's right. He deleted me from Facebook. He deleted me from Facebook in 2006. We had a nice lunch. Then I got deleted, and then I said, back in 2006, Facebook, you didn't care. You'd actually ask. I said, why was I deleted? And he goes, oh, geez, I'm sorry, I mixed you up with somebody else. And then he brought me back, and I'm still friends with him. I'll message him, and if he doesn't answer back, we'll put him on the list. That'd be great.
Good, yeah. We'll put him on the band list. Sounds good. To be continued. Believe me.
Yeah.